Blessings, divine beings, Nimue here. Today we're going to do a first reading with the Tarot for Pregnancy. And because this deck, a lot of the images are kind of graphic, I did draw them ahead of time to make sure that they were appropriate. So the first card that we are going to read is Temperance. The second card is Nine of Cups. And our third card is Elder of Swords, which is equivalent to like King. Okay, and so what these videos are for is to give you an idea of exactly how the guidebook reads. So we're going to go in, I'm going to read exactly what the guidebook says. And for this deck specifically, the readings are very, pregnancy, birth, postpartum focused. So you might recognize a little bit of a traditional underlining meaning. Some of these cards more than others, and many of them I feel kind of, go off in their own direction, and that's totally fine because this is a unique deck for what it's for, and I'm totally on board with that. So, with our first card, Temperance, the keywords are angels, spirit guides, ancestors, divine protection, balance, and balance, duality, and patience. So in birth and often during pregnancy and parenthood, Temperance shows up as your divine protector. Moments like birth are often when our angels, guides, and ancestors truly come through and protect us. You don't necessarily need to call upon them for this to happen, but if it comforts you to do so, then by all means talk to them, invite them in, and don't forget how divinely protected you are. You are protected and held. When you have no one else in the material world, you have them. Know this untouchable truth and hold it in your heart. Expect the best for yourself and expect protection, expert luck, expect good things to befall you. So Temperance always shows up as a disembodied, non-human energy through our angels and ancestors, often work through currently embodied living people. It might not even be an energy that we are aware of because it's acting on our behalf without our awareness beyond the veil. It can be hard for us to even fathom temperance, as this is not a humanly attainable level of understanding and grace. When we are pregnant, it has been divinely co-sign for us to continue our ancestral line. So our ancestors and angels are heavily present with us during this time. You might find yourself feeling more ethereal, more connected to universal consciousness when you're pregnant. And this consistent protective presence of your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels is just one of the reasons for that. When this card shows up, it might be asking you to seek that center, even if getting there and staying there is unrealistic for humans. Whether you're pregnant or postpartum, weed out any extremes in your daily life and make a practice of routinely coming back to your center through meditation, prayer, connection, and to the earth, or even just moments of quiet without any stimuli. So for Nine of Cups, key themes are deep self-care, honoring how far you've come, celebrating yourself, rest, having gained some emotional intelligence as a result of this emotional journey. A pregnant woman sits on a wicker throne, enjoying the mother blessing, gathering her closest soul kin, let me turn the page here, has planned for her. One friend washes her feet, symbolizing the care and support she can expect from her community as she walks into motherhood. Another friend braids loving and supportive intentions into her hair. There is a smorgasbord of nourishing home-cooked meals on the table behind them. This card is a signal to pause and be proud of your work, but it's also a free pass to treat yourself. You'll get to be with your pregnant body only so much longer, and this card is indicative of body self-care in all the most cliche of ways we tend to think of about self-care. Give yourself permission to indulge in bubble baths or spiritual baths, prenatal massage, orgasms, delicious nourishing food as your favorite ways to take care of the physical body that has carried you through this emotional journey thus far. It might feel as though you can't celebrate until after the baby is here and you've accomplished the task of birth, but that's not true. In fact, by the time you give birth, you'll be immediately thrust into postpartum and parenthood, so the time to celebrate is actually while you're still pregnant. when you actually have more time and energy to spend on pampering and indulging yourself. And then she gives a note about a mother blessing and the kind of indigenous practices and care behind that, but we won't go into that in this reading. And then Elder of Swords, keywords, the key themes: good at tasks that require mental capacity, filing paperwork, getting your affairs in order, practical solutions to problems, and thinking bigger. So the Elder or King of Swords brings a build your own seat at the table, better yet, build your own table energy. The Elder of Swords gets shit done in a tangible way and doesn't just dream about it. It makes me think of Dr. Stephanie Mitchell, who wrote the History of Birth chapter for the author for this Tarot Decks additional book, Tarot for Pregnancy. After years of medical industrial complex-based experience as a certified nurse midwife, she recognized the need for a freestanding birth center in rural Alabama. So she left her job as a CNM at a hospital in Boston and moved to Gainesville, Alabama, bought and restored a historical home to be the birth sanctuary Gainesville, the first freestanding birth center in rural Alabama. So the Elder of Swords is a beacon of what's possible when you allow innovation and necessity to unite in emergent, previously considered impossible ways for radical improvement of birth outcomes. Call upon this energy to figure out paperwork for things like insurance. And if insurance doesn't cover the type of care you desire, the energy of this card, turn the page again, doesn't take no for an answer and knows how to set up a crowdfunding campaign to finance it. In a relationship, this can show up like every time you tell your partner about pregnancy-related ailment you're experiencing or emotion you're feeling, and they rush to fix it or see what they can do about it instead of simply letting you express your feelings and difficulties. It's unlikely that they'll change that part of themselves at this point in the Suit of Swords, but take solace in knowing that trying to help in tangible ways is how they show their love.